guys, and welcome to Opal&Mint. I am Ashley, and welcome back to Watercolor Month. If you've been following along, we are now on day 8, I believe. They're starting to kind of run together for me, but we are going to go all the way through 31 days this month. We're painting a flower every single day, and we're using the flower color guide. So I'm just going to open up the book and paint whatever flower it is that I open up to. These paintings are meant to be loose, simple, quick, beginner friendly. So let's go ahead and dive into day 8 and see. Let's see, which sections should we try this time? Let's go more towards the front. I'm gonna go on the back and the middle. Let's see what's up here at the front. Okay, we have either a Nerine or an Anemone, and I love anemones. This one has a green center. Most of them have like a dark black center. We've got lots of little wispy leaves coming out. We can do this. White flowers can be a challenge sometimes, but it's really not that hard. It's all about doing these shadows. So let's do this. Let's clip our book in place, and we're gonna paint the anemone, and this is the white version with a green center. So let's give this a try. Let's get some paper. Okay, so here is the finished anemone. I do want to show you, I painted this once and got frustrated with it. I was talking through, explaining what I was doing, and trying to keep it loose, but then do details, and it kind of turned into a big mess. So I decided to sit down, start over, paint it without talking. Sometimes it's really hard to think through the process you're doing and explain it at the same time, especially when you haven't painted it this way before. It's something new. I'm not painting these flowers beforehand. I'm picking a random page and painting the flower for the first time. So not every time I paint it is it going to turn out perfect. And I like to show you the mess ups along with the successes, because I don't want people to get frustrated thinking they're the only ones that don't get it right the first time. I sometimes have to paint a flower so many times before it looks even remotely like the flower. So I just want you to know that this is what I tried first. And I didn't like it. So I did this. I'm going to show you the process, but I didn't talk through the steps. So I'll probably voice over so I can explain what I am doing. But yeah, let's go ahead and start painting this, and just keep in mind, if you don't paint it good the first time, it's totally fine. And I still am not in love with this. White flowers can sometimes be really tricky, and especially to paint them loose. So yeah, this is day, whatever we're on now, 8 maybe. And not every day is going to be fantastic. There's actually one that I did the other day and I hate it, and I just didn't do it. I might come back and try this one again on another day. But I want you to know, I am painting these for the first time. They don't always work out. So here, let's go ahead and start painting this.
All right, so we're going to start off with a very loose, very thin down wash of Soda Light. So this is just a kind of grayish, bluish color. Just use any kind of shade. Water it down a lot, and then just start slapping it on the paper. I wanted to go a lot looser this time. I want this to not feel stiff, so just do blobs of color in just a general shape of a flower. Do not try to make this look perfect. We're going for loose, so lots of water. I got too much here. I'm going to lift that up just a little bit. Putting in little indications of petals behind. Again, just trying to keep this carefree. Adding in just a little bit more pigment here and there to add some shadows. No rhyme or reason, really. All right, so let's put the middle in. We're putting in just some Serpentine Genuine Green, and I'm just doing a circle in the middle. It's touching and bleeding into that, and that's totally fine. Gonna keep it loose. All right, so let's mix up some more of this Serpentine Green, and we're going to pull down a stem for this flower. And let's go ahead and put some jagged leaves in here. These are just some like wild brush strokes. Make this crazy chaotic, and these are very spiky kind of leaves that just go everywhere around the flower. So just fill in where you feel like you might need them. And the leaves will actually help frame the white flower. So if you put some on different sides of the flower, it'll actually help that flower pop and stand out from the background. All right, so I'm getting some cad yellow here and a little bit of the serpentine green, and I am watering it down, wiping it off. We want just a little bit of this on the brush, not too much. And we're going to start doing some dots around. So leave some white space in between the inner circle and that ring that we're making now. Again, it's touching into the petals, and that is totally fine. Let it bleed. All right, taking more of that soda light color, just a little bit darker this time, and we're going to start lightly mapping out these petals. So I'm putting the line down the center, adding in just a little bit of shadow, trying my best not to overdo it this time. And I'm putting a shadow here because there's like one petal layered on top of this other petal here. And so it looks like it's a little shorter and it's got a shadow under it. So I'm just putting a little hint of shadow right there. I'm taking the dotting tool and doing those two lines down the center of the petals, and then a few here and there as well, just to give those shape without adding more pigment there. All right, and then I'm going back in one more time. I wanted to give the center a little more dimension, so putting some darker around the edge of it, and then we're just kind of fading it up to the top to where it gives it a little bit of shape. And we're going to go ahead and add a little bit more detail in that ring around the center. So adding some more dots on top of that. Now that that's dry, giving it a little bit more definition. I decided the leaves and stems needed just a little bit more too, so I'm going in with just a second layer of that green. It's a little bit darker, just adding on top of that to give it some more shape too. All right, and I think this is the last layer of shadow. And if you do go too dark in sections, do know that you can lift that paint.
All right, guys, so that is going to be it for day 8. Thank you so much for joining me on this watercolor journey, this watercolor month. And if you're painting along, let us know in the comments. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already and you want to see our future videos, hit that subscribe button down below. And we will see you again tomorrow for another day of watercolor month, a flower every day. Bye. I'm getting frustrated. And for another,